Good day, listener. This is your friend Joshua. I want to thank you again for your time. We are making a video on C.I.A. Not the C.I.A you know about when it comes to the other security sector and all that, but this is acronym used in computer technology. In computer science, what do we mean by C.I.A? C.I.A is an acronym of a computer technology term used to describe confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data or information. Okay? We are going to look at this one after the other so that we will know what they stand for. Okay? Now, let's start by with that confidentiality. When we talk about confidentiality, it is to say that only the unauthorized users can have access to information or data. Take for instance, if you don't have an account with First Bank or GT Bank, there is no way you can have their ATM card active working with you. There's no way you can be receiving money or going there to withdraw money because you are not a legitimate user or authorized user. So the confidentiality of every legitimate user can only be determined based on you being justified to have that legitimacy of that particular sector, whereby you can have access to share information, get information from that particular sector or body. I'm using bank as an example. So also in our daily life, if you are a staff in an organization, okay, they will give you a staff ID. Perhaps this staff ID is what you use to access your payment slip or every other login or account that they have as a system in that organization. So that ID is what differentiates you from every other person who is not a staff in that organization. So when we talk about confidentiality, it is to say only the authorized user can have access to information or data of a particular sector. Okay, that is confidentiality. Secondly, the next is integrity. This is to make sure that there is accuracy, consistency, and maintainability of data for the intended users. Okay, now you are already a staff. Okay, by the time you don't have access, okay, or maybe your details are not well managed by this organization whom you trust so much and leave your money with them, okay, you leave your assets with such a bank because you trust them so much. So you have that integrity that these people, they are worth trusted, so I can leave my assets with them. So that is to say that these people have maintained a standard integrity over the year. You are relying on that integrity because of their accuracy, their consistency, and how well they have managed or maintained data over the years. So that is that for what? Integrity. Next is availability. Just as the name implies, it is to ensure that data, network, and other resources are available to the authorized users when needed. Okay? It's to make sure that data, network, resources are available to authorized users when needed. Okay? You see what C.I.A actually stands for? It stands for what? Confidentiality, integrity, availability. Next, how do we ensure that these security measures are properly secure? Because you trust this organization so well or so much, okay? Or perhaps, take for instance, you as a developer or as a system administrator or as a network administrator, you are setting up an architecture or a system. How do you measure? How do you ensure that security measures are properly secured? Say for instance, you are setting up a router or a hub for a private network. The answer is that it is to make sure that we set key security goal in place against security threat. That is just it. There must be, like, we are talking about security as a series, don't forget. So everything lies on security. If not because of threat and attack, there will be no need for security. Yes. If not because of temptation, there's no need to pray. Okay? So also in technology. Because there is attack, there is threat. Whenever you are setting up any technological device or any system, be it software, hardware, device, or whatever, you must be able, you should also make it prior as first in everything you are doing, because security has a very vital role to play in our technological life. Next, how do we ensure integrity of data or information? Remember, we've talked about confidentiality, we've talked about integrity, we've talked about availability. Now, how do we ensure integrity of data or information? To ensure integrity of data or information in computer security, the following must be put under what consideration? The following must be put under what consideration? 1. Strong user authentication requesting OTP. We have seen some cases. If, for instance, you lost your credit card to a wrong hand, okay, this person now take your credit card, try to make online payment, because the bank has put authentication policy in place. When such a user try to make that payment, you find out that they will send an OTP. That OTP is for what? Authentication. And remember, the phone that will receive the OTP is under your possession, which we call the inherent factor. Okay? It's under your possession. Now, there's no way that user can be able to use your credit card, because he or she does not have your phone to receive your OTP. He only have your credit card. So, strong user authentication requesting for OTP is one of the measures to maintain integrity. 2. Cryptography. Remember, I said I will make video on cryptography as we progress. Now, cryptography, like we know, is to encrypt sensitive information, both for secure or unsecure environment, so that unauthorized users cannot have access to this information except its intended recipient. Yes, that is that on cryptography. There's going to be a video on that. I'm going to give you detailed explanation about cryptography. Next, about how we can ensure integrity of data or information. When it comes to integrity, we must ensure that the document or data are not altered. Alteration is also one of the violation of policy. So we must ensure, or a violation of privacy, we must ensure that our data or our document is not altered. Now, how do we ensure availability? To make sure that that our data or information are available for authorized users, the following must be put into place. 1. We must establish a web backup procedure. 2. Implement the use of effective data recovery. 3. The use of antivirus kits to ensure data availability. All these are ways we can ensure data availability. You see, we've been able to look at this factor one after the other. We're able to see how we can ensure integrity, how we can ensure availability, how we can make sure that our data, there is confidentiality, there is integrity, and there is availability of information when needed. So this is how far we can go in this video on CIA. I want you to always do more research on that. And if you have any suggestion, go to the comment section on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, share the video, like. I remain your friend Joshua. Thank you for your time.